You've stopped into another episode of Dad Crossing where myself, Nick, and my co-host Sean will have real, honest chats about the highs and lows of dad life. We'll laugh together at the craziness of parenting and the silliness of our kiddos, and we'll support each other through the challenges and tough decisions of fatherhood. Whether you're a seasoned granddad or a dad-to-be, we promise laughs, relatable, and sometimes raw talk, and expert help to tackle the tough issues. Not from Sean and me, but from the amazing guests we'll have on the show. So let's be dads crossing through life together. The time is upon us, Americans, Sean. Many of us, at least. Some of us already have started. Where we get up, we wake our kids, we pack their lunches, we get them around, and we shove them off to school, whether that be on a big yellow bus or driving them in the, gosh forbid, school drop-off line. And so, you know, no better time than to talk about back to school.
Returning to school.
Uh-huh.
What's horrific is the kids over in the UK, they broke up at the end of July, which is a lot later than you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And within a week of them being broken up, all the supermarkets and stuff like that had their back to school section open, where you could buy a school uniform and like walking around. And even Logan commented on it. He was like, "Why are they doing back to school now? We've only just finished." So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure if Becca would like to like spit on the back to school signs when they show up in like early July. She's like, back to school. It's not, still 6 more weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand. And because it does seem to be getting sooner and sooner. I walked into a shop the other day in town and they had like a full blown Halloween section going.
Yeah.
With all the decorations up and stuff. And I was like, it's really early, but at the same time in this economy and stuff like that. And this is like now I sound old to myself saying this. It gives you a chance to kind of buy bits slowly rather than like panic buying at the end of the summer break and going, oh crap, I forgot to buy our uniform. The kids need new shoes because the old school's shoes are wrecked because they drag the toes, and it's like uh-oh. So yeah, I can kind of understand why it comes out so early, but it's just not nice to see.
Yep. Yeah. No. 100%. But I don't know if they still do it. Where our kids now go to school, they don't have it. But for a good while, even when I was at school, you got a list. They would send you a list.
Yeah.
Of all the things to
a
get.
List, yeah. It's like Harry Potter, isn't it? When you
That's right.
You get the
gotta go to Diagon Alley and get our stuff.
You just go, what? Diagonally? Sorry. Yeah. There's a bit of a nerd joke. So yeah, no, we do. There's not so much a list, but the websites for the schools that the kids go to have, they need this equipment. This is what they call a standardized equipment. And if they don't have it, they will be reprimanded for not having it. I would say punished, but it's reprimanded. So
gotcha. The kids or the parents?
Well, both.
Yes.
Because the kids then can take it off timetable, and then you have to go and buy it anyway. So
yeah. But so over here, and again, I don't think they do it anymore. I'm trying to figure out when they stopped because I don't see the props, but maybe I've just missed them. There was like a little thing with all the schools like on this display, and you could pull out a sheet of paper for whatever school your kid went to, and it would have the school supplies on it for that particular school, though, for that age range. So, but I don't think they do that anymore. At least I haven't seen it. But then again, I get everything delivered now, so the amount of times I go into stores anymore is pretty close to zero. But anyways, so I feel blessed. When I used to work at Salvation Army, we would do a back to school drive. Do you guys have these where you like give the kids a backpack and it usually has supplies in it, and you're like, there you go, and they're like free of charge. And anyway, so it's the thing we did. People would like rip through those backpacks. Now, they're not the most like expensive. There's not like these aren't like, I don't know, high-end backpacks. But anyways, I feel blessed because my son has had the same backpack for 4, maybe 5 years, and he still loves it.
What's on the backpack?
Splatoon.
Is it Minecraft?
Nope.
Nope.
Nope. It was Splatoon. I think it's 4. I think it's been 4 years he's had it. It's got all the. It's got like. It's just like covered in squids of all different colors, basically, and they're all just all over the backpack. And I asked him, I was like, "Bud, I was like, you've had that thing for 4 years, so if you want to get another one, I am happy to buy you one." And he's like, "No, I love it. I think it's great." And I was like, "Okay." I was like, "I just you had that thing for a long time."
Logan's is like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle one, and he has like Donatello, a bit like keyring stuffy hanging off it. And if I was to ever try and change that, I think it'd kick me in the shins. So, so yeah, which again, I feel grateful for. But he doesn't. I find it strange. It's difficult in the UK because, like at Logan's age, the school gets funding for all the equipment, so they have all the pens, like the right correct pens, the triangle ones that teach them how to grip properly and stuff, and the scissors. They have all that. Is like when they go from 12-year-old to 13-year-old and go up in another school into secondary school, that's when they need to go with all their own equipment and become responsible for it. So yeah. And Emily doesn't take a rucksack. She takes a tote bag. I think she uses a it's either Wednesday tote bag, or
that's fine.
Might even be one that says Silly Goose on it or something like that. I don't know. But she doesn't take a rucksack.
Okay. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, I could see a tote bag working out pretty good for you. And I mean, if that's what you want to do. Yeah, that just I find it interesting. I'm excited. I also I'm trying to figure out next week, like when do I start like bringing down when they go to bed and stuff like that, so that ease them in a bit.
Yeah, you talked on Monday that next week's like you and the kids and having to go into the office and stuff. So do you not because obviously I don't know what time you go into the office, like what most people in the UK, if they go into an office, it's like 8:30 while 4:30 is the kind of thing. So would they not be having to get up early anyway to follow you, and subsequently have to go to bed earlier because they're getting up earlier?
Yeah,
so that kind of gets them in. That week is good because not only is it making memories for you, but it kind of gets them into a routine. So.
Yeah, they'll get it. So I try to be in the office on at least 3 of those days at 8 o'clock, so they get up at 7, and go. And then I've already been requested and I've granted it. We went in to get last week. They came in for an off day because Becca was getting her room ready, and we went and got donuts for everybody in the office that was going to be there. And when we went in there, we found a brand new peanut butter cream filled chocolate donut. Yeah. And Noah was like, "I want that donut." And I was like, "No." I was like, "You can't have that donut." I was like, "Because we're buying donuts for everybody, and I'm not buying everybody ring donuts and you this fancy cream filled donut." And he was like, and so then he's like, "Dad, August 18th is school. Can we celebrate the start of school by coming here and getting that donut?" And I was like, "Fine. You got it. We'll come here and get the peanut butter cream filled chocolate donuts."
That sounds like it's going to be next level epic.
I know. I really.
That's coming from somebody that currently can't eat.
I know. I'm sorry.
Has chosen not to eat those kind of. No, sorry. So Lindsay's making a load of muffins and brownies and bread at the weekend while I'm on bad week nights. So don't worry about it. I am going to be the muffin man and taking all these in, and I'm not being able to eat one.
Oh man, if they're warm and you're driving and you have to smell them in the car, oh God bless you. If I'm gonna be here for you if you knock that out of the park and you don't eat one. I'm gonna be like, buddy, you are awesome. I mean, nothing.
Yeah, I need to ask ChatGPT how I can incorporate an off keto day, and is that something that's good to do? So.
This is how it's going to go. ChatGPT, how do I incorporate Lola into my keto diet?
In fact, I think my chat GPT knows Lola. So,
So it'll work. That's all I gotta say.
yep.
That's funny. So that's gonna be the start of our school year. We're gonna have this donut. I don't think Ariel will probably have a different donut because she's not super peanut butter. She doesn't mind it, but that's not like her favorite thing. But she'll find one, I'm sure. But then I always feel bad because when I go to school and I bring him in the donuts, I need to start bringing wet wipes when we do this. In fact, I got to really try to remember to do that because then I always feel bad. I'm like, guys, I was like, you just need to like get into school and go straight to the bathroom and wash your face because by the time we get to the school, they're like chocolate all over their mouth, and I'm like, oh come on. Looks like I'm a horrible father,
Yeah,
and I just like
just dropping
sent you
them
to
off and they're
school.
covered in chocolate and their
Yeah.
eyes are as wide as dinner plates. It's like,
Best of luck, Teach. Have fun.
I'm running around going like, I need TP for my butthole. I'm still full on Beavis and Butthead sugar high.
Yeah. So I always
Sorry, kids. If you don't know what Beavis and Butthead is, and for me saying butthole again.
Oh man. So I always feel a little bad about that. But yeah, you are right. They'll get a bit of that just from next week for sure. Of just kind of. Do you do that though? I mean, do you guys try to like bring back their bed schedule gradually?
Yeah, we are gonna have a hell of a time trying to get that right, because at the moment it's 9:20 here, and when we said to Logan, oh, you need to have an early night tonight because we've got a few things that we want to do tomorrow, he was like, oh, so am I going to bed at like 10:30? It's like, you probably are, but that's not an early night. But okay, that's early in comparison. So it's going to take some time, and we're away. I think we come back on the 30th of August, and then they're back within like 5 or 6 days of us being back off holiday. So they're going to have this entire time where there's just going to be no time. We've got Lindsay's dad's coming with us and his wife, so we're going to be stopping up playing games. So it's going to be interesting trying to get back and then get them back into a routine and ready. It's going to be difficult, and they're at a mixed age now where Emily's kind of requesting, can I stop up like an hour later than normal? Because normally we would put Logan, like have Logan getting into bed for about 7:30 and Emily for about 8:30. And she's like, I'm getting into bed and I'm not really tired. Can I extend that? And then Logan's heard it and Logan's like, well, I want to extend it as well. I was like, yeah, but you need more sleep than Emily because you're younger. You're still doing a lot. Emily's kind of reaching the not growing stage anymore and can handle being tired. You can't. You are useless at being tired.
yeah, I hear that. Yeah.
Not to like gaslight him and be off him, but just like basically we can't get him up. He's grumpy. He drags his feet, and it affects how he is at school. Where if Emily's tired, she kind of just can kind of get on with it. And sometimes it's her own fault, and it's a responsibility. You need to learn that candles burn at both ends soon shorten. So
yeah, for Noah, he'll. Oh, sorry, my bad. Tried to lower that and it didn't lower. Random stuff happening outside, so I'm trying to figure out. My camera's going crazy, so I'm trying to figure out what's happening outside my house. Anyways, for Noah, he'll get up just fine, and he'll get around and he'll do his stuff, but by like midday, he starts dragging, and then he gets cranky, and so everything kind of goes down from there. So, so, and then by the time like we're normally just eating supper, he's usually a jerk. I mean, I don't mean to be rude, but it's just true. He's just like, I'm like, buddy, just go to bed.
It's one of those, say it as it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't sugarcoat it.
For sure. So yeah, we are we're gonna work on that. We got first day plans. It's only half day. Do you guys do half days over there? Yeah.
Do they do half days on the return? No, they kind of do a phase return. So if they've just moved up a school, they will like bring the first year and the last year of that school in on the same day.
Oh, okay.
And like the eldest ones kind of help the smallest ones get around and kind of to bridge that fear gap that you've got these tiny little students and then you've got like these students that can grow a beard that are just about to leave school helping each other,
That's cool.
and they kind of get a grasp of where things are, and it allows the smaller ones to not to feel as though they can't ask questions and for help for people a lot bigger than them and stuff like that. And then like the day after they'll bring everybody back.
Gotcha. That's a really neat idea. That's a really neat way to do it. So half day, so it's kind of a useless day for me because it's like I drop them off. I go to the office for 2 hours, maybe 3. Yeah, 3 hours, and then I just go back and pick them up. So there's that. But
And to what effect is that though? Going back for half day, is that just to ease them in slowly?
yeah, I think so. So like I like the way Becca's school does it better than what our kiddo school is here. So they start on Monday and they start with a half day and then they're full for the next 4. The way Beck's school is doing it, where everybody comes back for a full day, but they start on a Wednesday. So you're starting on a Wednesday because you're not used to that whole schedule, and by Friday the kids are like fried, right? Because it's like, whoa, this is so it kind of gives them a 3-day intro to the school year. They get a weekend to kind of recoup, and then you're kind of in. So I really like that idea.
And that's what they do over here. They get like usually the first like Monday and Tuesday is a teacher training day, which is a day for the teachers to be getting and get the feet under the desk basically and establish themselves and set the room up how they want it to be done for how they're going to do the curriculum. And then like 2 days later, the kids turn up and destroy everything.
Yeah, exactly. And that's exactly what Becca's school is doing. I mean, she starts Monday, kids start Wednesday. So yeah, that's exactly same thing. But yeah, our kids are not doing that. They're starting half day Monday and then they're in. So by Friday, my kids will be spent for sure. For sure. They'll be like, whoa, I'm not used to this at all. My kids are excited. I will say that they're excited for school. So that's always easier, makes life easier. Ariel and Noah. Ariel we've had Ariel's teacher with Noah before, and it was a great experience. So we're excited that Ariel gets her too. And Noah is very excited for his teacher. She's the youngest teacher in the school, I think. She just started like 2 or 3 years ago, and so from all accounts, kids really kind of think she's cool and kind of respect her age and stuff like that. So
oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So
have they got like friend groups that they don't see outside of school because of like how far you guys are away from them and stuff like that? I always think like of America having this really large footprint in terms of where the people come from school. Like for us, it's you live outside like a 5-mile radius of the school, you can't go to that school sort of thing. So
gotcha. Yeah, actually. So for us, we drive our kids to their school because which is like 15 minutes away. I mean, in the county I live in, you might have 2 fields that are 5 miles.
yeah, wow.
No, they're not entirely that long, but I mean, a mile-long field is not out of the question in this county for sure. But we drive them because we just like this particular school. It's still a public school. We just like this one particularly, and it's convenient for us because it's on the way to where I go to work. So all that just works out. And so yeah, for them, he does have some friends in that class that he hasn't seen. He's talked about a couple that he's excited to see. He does get to see a lot of them. He goes to school, not the same class, but school with some the Duke's kids, and so he gets to see those on a more regular basis, and some other family friends that we do hang out with in the summer every once in a while. So
yeah,
so he can see a lot of
that
them,
also makes. I can always remember going back to school was kind of the debrief with people that you didn't see because of the distance that they lived away, or because he just had no way of getting in contact with them, especially like when I was younger. I didn't have a mobile phone or anything like that. I had to, if I wanted to ring somebody, I had to go to a phone box because my parents wouldn't even let me use the house phone. So I had to like use the money I'd saved up to go put it in the phone box to ring people. So it was always good to go back because you got to like catch up with people,
Yeah.
ask them like, "Oh, what have you been doing where have you been? What have you been up to?" and stuff. So there's all the excitement of sharing the stories of everything that you've been up to. As well. Like, and Noah and Ariel have got the whole, West Coast
Mm-hmm.
hiking stories to tell.
Yeah. Yeah. So I agree. That is true. I always liked that as well. So but there's that, and I don't know. I think that's like those are the big things that as a parent I worry about. Are they prepped for bed? Do they have the right stuff? What's the down low? Talk to the other parents. What do we think of the teacher they're about to what is other parents like thoughts
Yeah,
on the teacher they're about to go to? So I mean everything's looking
there's
great
definitely
where we're at. So we'll see if it all pans out.
there's definitely well, I know there's a WhatsApp group for the mums of Logan's year because it started out as year one mums and then it went to year two. Now it's year three. Um, so like I know they've all been talking about because this year when Logan went from nursery to the school, they kind of kept all the kids that came from that nursery in the same class for 2 years. So like they never really changed. But going into year three, they've split because there was two year two classes. They've basically split the classes in half and then mixed them together. So Logan, when he goes in year three, isn't going to have everybody in the class that he's always had. He's got new people and new faces and stuff like that. Some parents weren't happy with the change because they've gone with kids that cause trouble in classes, where some have kind of gone where that kid is no longer there to cause trouble in the
Yeah.
class, and some parents are relieved. So yeah, and the two different teachers as well. One's female, one's male, and apparently the male one is like really cool, is really funny, and like gets kids engaged through laughter, where the other one isn't. So like, there's a couple of kids that were pretty bummed that they didn't get like the male teacher. So apparently the messages back and forth in there have been pretty interesting and funny
I
about
bet.
how kids feel. So
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Man, teachers make all the difference. Like
yeah,
they just like I mean I know our wives are both like in education, but they really do. Like for parents and for
yeah,
kids both. Like and I mean if the teacher has good communication, oh man, it's just like life is great.
yeah. It's not only if they have good communication, but if they make relevant choices in terms of engagement for kids. Because
Mhm.
if you're just gonna stand there and be like, "Look at your textbook, open the textbook," and like kids are just.
Mhm.
But if you're making it fun and engaging and getting them involved and stuff like that, that's for me that's the best way to go about it. And so,
Yeah.
which I know is different. Like when for Logan's age, it's different. For like Emily's age, where she's doing like biology, chemistry, and physics and stuff like that, the experiments and getting the kids up and moving around in the classroom to kind of prove things is always good and fun to do. It's something I would like to be able to do. I would love to be able to teach, especially like the sciences, because I'm a big fan of the sciences. Um, but equally, I don't think I could put up with some of the stuff that Lindsay comes back with when it comes to the
Mhm.
kids that are difficult. I'd be like,
Yeah.
no, I wouldn't suit the education sector. So
I 100% agree, man. I mean, there's a yeah. I mean, I would 100%. It's just like, would it be fun to teach? Sure, the kids that wanted to learn, but like, and I mean, I don't mean like if they struggle on the subject, I'm happy to try to like suit their learning style, but to teach the kids that really just are disrespectful and don't give a crap about you or being there or want to be there, nah, I wouldn't handle it well. I'm sure I would be like, if all things went well, I would probably just get fired. If they didn't, I'd probably have a lawsuit. Those
yeah,
would be the two options. So it's best that I don't enter the education sector.
yeah. I mean, I like to like Drax give us volunteer. Yeah, they give us volunteering days in terms like we can have a day away from work, which is still paid, and we can like go and do volunteering and stuff. And I've always offered, like, if they do a career day where they want somebody to come in and talk about different careers and how school is relevant to those like getting into those careers, I said I've always been happy to come in and do that, because I never really had anything like that as a kid, and I really do wish I did, because I didn't know what I wanted to do when I was at school. So I kind of fumbled into the. Well, I didn't kind of fumble. My parents, my dad really kind of honed me into this my career path. But before that, I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I think my aspirations were to be an astronaut, a rally car driver, and an engineer, and I managed to become one of the three.
There you go. Hey, that's success if you ask me. I mean, and you did some rallying, didn't you? Didn't you tell me when you were young?
Yeah, a little bit. It's a long time ago now, but yeah,
maybe not a career, but I mean, so I wanted to be a pilot or a police officer, and then as I got older, I decided not to work out. So, police officer was out the window, and then I was like, no. So then I don't know. No. Then here we go. But let's see. Back to school. My bad. We got off.
Are you looking forward to the routine of them being back to school?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. I'm really grateful that Lindsay works in the school sector, so she gets the same time off as the kids. I sometimes look at her and I know she doesn't feel that way, because she looks at like when I have time off and they're all at school and work and stuff like that, and I get like the day to myself for a week in the house. And she'd really, really want that. So I do try my best to help her with that. But I miss the routine. I miss the, like, now it's the we're the weekend now, but during the week when I've been on nights, I've been taking Logan to school, coming home, like tidying up, getting into bed, sleeping, not waking up until like 5 p.m. to get ready for work again. And my parents had picked and helped Logan up and stuff. So there's the routine of everything. So, but now like they're at home, there's trying to like sleep through Logan in and out of his bedroom, which is next to ours, and the door slamming and the dog's barking, and there's kids everywhere and stuff like that because they're all off, which I'm never going to turn around and shout at like kids like, yo, keep it down, I'm working nights here and stuff like that. But I'm never going to do that because they're out there, they're living the childhood kind of thing. Yeah. So it's whatever. But I miss the routine so bad.
No, I agree. The real problem is I get super pulled in the summer. Like, Beck's having fun with the kids, and so she'll text me and be like, "Do you want to go and do this?" And it's like I can go do that, but it's like I got stuff I really need to do, and so I'm like trying to like. It's much harder to balance in the summer because like Becca's off, and so it's just kind of like she's enjoying her summer, which she should, and doing stuff with the kids and stuff like that, and so but I want to do it too. And so, but I'm like, I really can't do that. I'm sorry. And I mean, she's not mad. She's like, okay, I just want to invite you. But it's like, but I want to go. And so, yeah. And also just like I just never know. I never know what each day is going to 100% look like when it's summer, because when the kids are out, because it's just like, I don't know. Yeah. what's going to happen?
I think so far for the last 2 or 3 weeks, I've gone every time we've gone into bed on a night, I've like gone to this. So what's happening tomorrow? And she's like, I don't know. I'll figure that out when I wake up. And I'm like, yeah, I can't live like that.
Yeah.
And he's like, am I getting up at 6 a.m.? I get like, can we sleep in? Like, what's happening? Do I need to put the car on charge? How far are we driving?
Yeah. That's funny. Like, well, we have the same story there, because it's the same thing, and it's like, and I try to tell him like, but if I know, then I can kind of plan my day to do the thing before you text me like 20 minutes before you're leaving and being like, we're doing this, do you want to join us? And I'm like, no, I didn't plan my day to do that. I got stuff I got to do now. I didn't know we were doing anything. Yeah. And so, yeah, no, I 100% feel you there. That is my summer life.
But then on the other side of things, like talking to Joe and his wife, who both work from home, so they have like a separate room each that's an office, like trying to work from home while you have 2 children under the age of 8 years old. Like going one's just turning 8, and the other one is just leaving nursery and going into school. So he's be like 3 to 4.
Oh
So having that at home while trying to work, especially like in meetings and calls and stuff like that, I bet that's just
yeah.
not the best.
I mean, I'm in the sweet spot right now. Like they're really good, and they've grown up with me doing the same job, right? So they're like, they know when I say, "Hey guys, I'm making a call. I need to be quiet." They're really good about it now. But yeah, when they were younger and you're trying to do a thing, and especially like right as they leave the nap period, that's the worst. Like they leave, like they're no longer taking naps, but they still pretty much need close to 100% supervision, and so it's like, well, frick, now I really have no absolute time. So then you're trying to like do stuff up there while they're doing their thing, and it's yeah.
I mean, I don't think it would be possible to do it. I don't know how people did it during COVID when like the kids were off permanently for 8-9 weeks at a time, and then still had the 6-week holiday. But I mean, like even this evening when we come to record the podcast, I'm setting up and Logan comes downstairs and I'm like, I'm just giving you a heads up, dude, that we're going to be recording the podcast. So just try and stay clear of the living room, because as minimal interruptions as possible, because people that listen to it don't necessarily want the interruptions where I'm trying to be cautious of what I'm saying, and at the same time cautious of like how much I'm telling the world when I'm speaking to Logan.
Mm-hmm.
So, but then we got in the call, and within 5 minutes of us being in the call with each other, he was downstairs asking me if I could cut some things out that he'd drawn, and I'm like sat here looking at him thinking, yeah, I literally just said to you 5 minutes ago, dude. But
yeah. I mean, I don't know how, like with both parents working. Yeah, that's a whole. During COVID, I'm not sure. Like Becca was off too, so it made life pretty easy for me.
Lindsay was exactly the same.
Yeah.
It was just like a forever, ever summer break.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's
like
what it felt like.
March to September, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was such a long time.
It was. It seems like forever ago, doesn't it? I mean, Becca was down here. Yeah. I remember I set her up, and she was like, the school's trying to figure out how to record videos and do stuff, and I was like, well, you can just go downstairs. I do the podcast with the guys. We were doing Dad Crossing back then, and I was like, so yeah, she was down here. She'd put a sheet over all my stuff so that she could do a backdrop that wasn't this, and make her like, hey guys, how's school going? Videos. Every once in a while, I come across one of them. I'm like, oh, I remember
that. Oh, yeah. So, but no, we keep tangenting away from going back to school. But I'm not looking forward to it this year, because Logan's very much enjoying his freedom at home to come and go as he pleases. He's at this age now where we're happy for him to go out. I mean, his friend's been away because that's whose dog we're looking after. But he's on a countdown. He's like, how many hours is 3 days? And I was like, 72 hours, dude. He was like, okay, 72 hours until my friend comes back.
Oh, that's awesome.
So he's really missing him, but he'll get up on a morning, have his breakfast, like chill out, and like watch his iPad, or he'll play Switch or something like that for a little bit, and then his friend will come around and knock on the door for him, and then he just goes. That's it. It's out the door. We leave the garage door open for him at the front, and he's in and out, getting his scooter, getting his bike, getting like his little skateboard and his water pistols and stuff, and he's just in and out all day. And like he'll come in at like 5 p.m. for his tea, and he's filthy. Like there's dirt all over his like under his fingernails. His t-shirt is an absolute mess. He's usually absolutely soaking through, like to the point where his shoes and socks are wet through because they've had a water fight. So I think getting him back into the routine of like the constructed getting up on a morning, got to go to school, you've got to wait till you get home to go out and hang out with your friends kind of thing. I think this year is going to be the hardest one, but he might take to it really well. So
Yeah.
I
That
could be
that's a
like
great childhood, by the way. You
in
guys are doing good. Like, I mean, having that, like, that's a summer. That's a summer you can remember right there. Like, that's awesome.
yeah. Well, that's what it was like when I was like younger. I was laughing. I actually laughed and joked about this at work last night because I was talking not last night, the night before. I was talking to one of the guys. Had a real panic moment while I was on holiday. One of the kids managed to like kind of break away from the family group, and everybody panicked. So he's got them like these little smart watches that don't rely on mobile phones to ping like the location. It uses GPS, but only
Oh,
within a certain range. Because he was really worried about this, and I was like, I laughed and joked and said, I don't know how my mum managed it as a kid, like modern day parenting, trying to monitor where your children's are. Like Apple has that Find My Device and stuff. There's Air
mm-hmm.
Tags. There's smartwatches. There's all kinds of stuff. My mum had like this inane ability to know where I was at any time and what I'd been doing. Like I'd come in and my mum was like, "You went further than the snicket, didn't you?" And I was like, "No, no." She's like, "Yes, you did. I know." And I'm like, "No." Well, Barbara from down the way told me.
Yes.
She said she saw, and it's like, "Oh God damn it!" Like she knew. And it was like impossible. So, but yeah, we were joking about this, and like not knowing what time it was, and we had to go. We only knew where our friends were by their bikes being strewn on lawns and stuff like that. So I had that kind of childhood where I was climbing trees, digging holes, riding bikes, building jumps and stuff, and then playing with my little. If my friends went around playing in the back garden with my little brother and stuff, and like locking him in the coal bunker and things. So it was a pretty sweet
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. I would be interested to speak to other people over here. Like, like what do they let their cuz I don't know, like we are not that free with even Noah. Like Noah doesn't have that amount of freedom. And I don't know if that's an
yeah.
American thing or a me thing. Could be either. I wouldn't say either one at the moment.
No, you see, there's some people who live on the estate that I live on, where their kids literally they must kick the kids out the front door at like 8:30 in the morning and be like, "Oh, see you later," and they are out all day wreaking havoc, cycling down the middle of the road, and like even at 8 years old, won't think twice to give you the finger and flip you off if you're driving
It's
and they're
fantastic.
in your way and they should be giving like way to you and you beat the horn, they will like give you the finger and call you all the names under the sun, and it's like they're 8 years old. But then I know that like I speak to other parents and stuff, and my sister-in-law was like this to a point, where they weren't too keen on the kids going out of the house and too far.
Mhm.
They were like really they were So there's an aspect of that. Like I don't know if it was just my parents didn't give a flying hoot, or they were just so happy knowing the community around them and having different people in different places in the community around them that they knew where we were and what we were up to all the time. Well, I know now, Joe lives the next village on, which is a 35-minute, 40-minute walk away. He would never be able to know if Logan went out where it was, sort of thing. And we don't speak to many of our neighbors that way. I don't think in a modern day like this, the community is as tight knit as it used to
Yeah.
be when
Yeah,
we were
no,
younger,
100%.
maybe. So, and we're more aware of the dangers, the
Yeah,
predators.
all the,
It's more it's more widely spoken about now. It's
mhm.
so where it didn't used to be,
Yeah.
scarily enough.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. And sometimes I'm like, man, I wish we'd just give him a little bit more freedom. But then at some point, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm kind of nervous to give him more freedom. Not that I think he would do anything. I really don't. I think he'd be fine. Like I think he's a pretty awesome dude about like doing the right thing, telling me what's going on. I'm just more worried about the all the things that we know about now that happen all over the
Yeah.
place. Of like, well, I don't know. I want to deal with that. So yeah, I'm not sure. So anyways, that's another topic, not back to school. We like had a thread of back to school and then just pulled it
Yeah.
every which way, I'm pretty sure.
Well, it's every time we start talking about like for me it was the difficulty of getting my worries of the difficulty of getting Logan back into going the routine of going to school
Mm-hmm.
because I think he's going to miss the fun that he's had
Yeah, heck
to
yeah,
an
he is.
element.
That's awesome.
and the freedom. That kind of led to that rabbit hole.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Do you guys do
It's
bus routes in the UK? I never hear you talk about that. I always hear you talk about the drop-off line. Does anybody get picked up in the bus for your school?
not for like Logan's school, but when I was at high school, they definitely had like buses that brought kids from a bit further away.
Okay. All right.
So
I mean, they have a
yeah,
bus at Noah School. It doesn't get. We don't use it that much. Although every once in a while I will. There's like a stop. I just have to drive to like the last bus stop area, and I can drop them off, and then the bus will pick them up. So I was just wondering.
yeah.
But
We kind
usually he
of
does it.
I used to do so that. Wow, my school runs over the years have been interesting. When I first met Lindsay, and she lived like in West Yorkshire, it was a good 35-minute drive to her house. But then the school that Jay went to at that time was really close to there. But Lindsay still like you do. She kind of lived a bit further than that school, so she used to take Jay on a morning.
Gotcha.
And then like Lindsay's mum or Lindsay's brother-in-law or even me used to go and pick Jay up after school, and then kind of if I was working, somebody would pick Jay up in the village, and then Lindsay would pop and pick them up after she finished work, kind of thing. And then when Jay went from that school to high school, I think we got really good with just in like the summer holidays before and a bit of the time before, we got really good with like letting her out and letting her go further and further. And because she had a mobile phone, we gave her a mobile phone.
Sure.
It wasn't fantastic. I think it was one of our old iPhones, so it didn't do a great deal other than text and call kind of thing. And kids is that used to now having an iPad that operating an iPhone wasn't too difficult. So I think like from the age of 13, she used to walk to school, and we kind of did the same with Emily. She like her school was in the middle of town. During the summer holidays, we got better and better at letting her go further and trusting that she was where she was telling us, kind of thing. And like I did a dry run to school with her, so like I walked her and I said, "This is like the best place to cross here because you can see everywhere. So like try and cross here often. Make sure you're using like crossings and like pedestrian crossings and stuff." So it's like she walks to school now. There's gonna come a point, I think, where we do the same with Logan, but it's just a lot longer for him.
Yeah.
So, but it will come, but I don't think it will be for another 2 or 3 years.
Sure. So. Noah used to go to a school in town, and I always thought he would be walking here pretty shortly, like I assumed. And then he could they went to the same school here in town, and so, and it's literally like 1, 2, 3, like 3.5-ish, 4 blocks away. So I assumed that he would be walking here real soon to school, but I think that then we moved, so that's definitely not happening now since it's 15 miles away.
Yeah,
walk to school. Noah.
It's just it's just good to give them the freedom sometimes with that, and as long as they've got people that they like. When Jay started walking to school for first, there was a couple of people on this estate that were in the same year as her, so she used to walk with them. And it's the same with Emily. She's got a friend that has to walk past the front of the house to get to school. So, like, Emily will walk out at a certain time just as her friend's passing by, and they'll walk to school together. I never got dropped off to school. I think it happened once for the entire 5 years that I was at school. So.
Yeah. Did I get dropped off? No. I rode the bus the majority of the time until I could drive, and then I drove myself. So yeah. Interesting. Didn't think about that. All right. Anything else on this topic before we wrap it up?
Yeah, I don't think there's any more rabbit holes that we can run down. But as always with the dad hobbies, and try and wrap this up in terms of just listen to how the kids are with it. I know there's some parents out there, like I've spoken to people at work, I've spoken to friend groups that the kids really have a struggle with school and the structure of, and sometimes people at school. There's the aspect of bullying and stuff, and the break from school, being at home and not having to see that person is a relief, and then knowing that they might have to go back and see that person can sometimes be not a nice feeling. So just listen, encourage them to be there, because it's obviously very much for their benefit. But just try and remember, especially if they're going to a big new school kind of thing, that they've had a few years now of being the bigger kid, and they're now going into a new school where they're the small fry kind of thing. So
yeah, for sure.
But yeah, no, that's all I wanted to say. I like to close our dad topics out with a little bit of a sentiment.
I agree. I like it.
Yeah, but before I start absolutely choking to death, because my throat has decided to dry all up, thank you very much for listening. If you've got any funny back to school stories or anything like that, or want to ask us our opinion and questions on stuff, reach out to us as always. It'd be nice to hear from you. But until then, enjoy your weekend. See you later.
See you later, guys.
Thanks for tuning in to Dad Crossing. We're here to remind you that this podcast is made by dads for dads. It's a place where all of us can come together, share a laugh, and tackle the wild ride that is fatherhood. If you want to keep the conversation going or just need a safe space to chat or ask for help, you are always welcome to reach out. You can find me, Sean, at Sean_Abbott, and you can find my good friend Nick at Nick10Do. And of course, give our social media platforms a good look over, because that is where we share all the updates, all the laughs, and all the things dad life. That is, everything is at Dad Crossing. For anything more, feel free to drop us a message at team@dadcrossing.com. And until next time, stay strong, stay connected, and remember, you're never alone on this journey. We'll see you in the next episode of Dad Crossing.